Alright folks, welcome back. We got a fun one for you today. We live in the west here, and boy, it gets hot, and we're part of that heat wave, and well, this is one of the first casualties to come in as far as an overheating issue in the summertime. One thing when I get these kind of cars in, I definitely do a heavy visual inspection. Right off the bat, I'm going to show you something that's kind of shocking. Right here on top of the transmission, we have coolant. Okay, don't let that fool you. It's not tranny fluid. And why do we know it's coolant? Because if you follow it up, what's right there? We got the box.
So the cap is bad.
Well, we're going to start with this one first before you replace any parts. We are going to actually take the cap off, look inside, and inspect the reserve pressure tank, because this is a dual-purpose tank. I have seen a case of these tanks actually causing the overheat issue and everything else be fine. The other complaint was the air conditioning was cold, but it went hot, and then so did the temperature gauge. So that's where we're going to be at today. Stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, go ahead and pop the cap. Now, if you can see on the visual inspection, we also have some stainage.
No coolant.
No coolant. Alright, so we need to fill it up and see where the coolant is going. We're going to use our own pre-mix 50/50 that mixes with any, because this is a Dexcool motor. Tell you one of the things I don't like about Dexcool, this car is a prime example. If you look right there, that's corrosion caused by Dexcool, and hopefully someone just didn't throw tap water in here, because that'll cause this problem that we're having.
I did a coolant replacement job in...
Well, even so, it doesn't mean anything. Dexcool does it on its own, even if you do everything right. Okay, this is a tank you do not want to overfill. So you want to fill this to cold fill. If you're going to run this test so we can figure out where this leak's coming from.
This is going to take a full gallon.
Oh man. Something bad happened. Yep, but this is where you start. You start your visual. The next thing, if your tank is empty, now you got to figure out why. And the steps I'm showing you on this car will work on any car. I don't care if it's a Chevy 350 to a Chevy with 3.1 3.8. You know, it's not normal to have to add coolant to these cars. And if you have to add coolant more than twice in one, 9-week period, you've got a leak. It's going somewhere. I promise you that. Do you know where the cold fill is on this? Oh yeah, she's lost a lot of coolant. Well, the cooling system's got to be up to par before your AC even works, so we won't even touch the AC until we get the cooling side dealt with. Where did it go?
I believe the cold line's right there. Well, you can fill this whole tank up, actually.
You can't, Kevin. This is the pressure expansion tank. You can't. It's got to be half.
Well, then I believe it's at half right now.
Because if you look over here, the min line is actually down. But being this thing's low, it's going to suck it down anyway. Alright, cap on. Let's start it up and see if we can't find this leak. Okay, we're going to let this run for a little bit. We'll be back if we find this leak. Okay, what I want to show you, you're low. As soon as you put coolant in it and it starts burping, this thing was way low. Oh boy. You're lucky you didn't lose this motor, man. But that white stuff, that's the silica caused by Dexcool. And that's what clogs up the radiators and gives you this overheating condition. But you got to have coolant first before you can diagnose that. It's almost like we're having to re-burp this thing. That's not good on a 100-degree day. You don't want these kind of problems. Okay, at this point I'm going to let you guys watch the burping going on. We're getting some tools and stuff so we can watch the temperature gauge, because We are going to diagnose this as an overheating concern, but I think what we're going to find is we've got a serious coolant leak in that bottle somewhere. So we've got to get it full so we can get it pressurized, and then we can do the leak. So we're cleaning everything up. That's the thing you want to do, is you want to get it clean so you can watch it. But this thing, we've already put a gallon through it, so you see how violent the bubbles are. I'm going to speed this clip up and go ahead and play some music and let this run for about 5 minutes, and then we'll see if we've hopefully got the air out of it. So we've got to get it to burp. Alright, something cool. I want to show you guys how this tank works. That's water literally being pumped out of the engine into this tank and then back in through the orifice on this side, and it calms out the bubbles. Now normally it probably wouldn't be this violent, but we have a lot of air in this system, and this is why we have the cap off. You only want to do the procedures I'm showing you though, however, right now, with a pressurized plastic burp tank. This won't work on a Chevy 350 unless it's the Vortec with the sealed system. That came in after about 97. This is 2005, so okay. Right now the gauge is good. I'm guessing that's going to be about 195 to 203. I don't have my digital on it. We're looking for it as we speak. We do have the heater on just so we can make sure we have some type of cooling just in case this radiator's plugged. You know, it's a safe testing we do so we don't cause any damage to the equipment, i.e. the customer's car. Okay, at this point I went ahead and put the pressure cap on because we're pretty much at a level to where I think it's okay. It's got enough fluid in it to where it should be able to create some pressure now. The thing is, you want to get it hot, then shut it off, and that's when it's going to reach its most pressure in 5 minutes. So if you've got a pretty good leak, that's when you're going to find it. Yeah, I can smell it. I just don't know where it is yet. I'll find it, because that's what I do.
The ECM will turn on the cooling fans on at low speed when the coolant temperature is 93 degrees Celsius, which is 199 degrees.
So we should have already had fan action.
The ECM will turn the cooling fans off when the coolant temperature is 90 degrees Celsius, which is 194 degrees Fahrenheit. The ECM will turn the cooling fans on at high speed when the coolant temperature is 97 degrees Celsius, which is at 207 degrees Fahrenheit.
I'll get the heater on now.
There's something wrong with the cooling fan.
No, we got that, but we got a coolant leak and a fan problem. Go ahead and turn on the air conditioning up high.
No, why air conditioning?
Because it's the override for the fan.
They won't do it.
There's something wrong. Then you hit AC, that fan should click on. You got no fan, kick the AC off, kick the heater on high, and you get this thing cooled down. I need that fan running up front too. Got a very dangerous situation right now. That's the temperature controls. So right now we're going to use this fan as our cooling fan. See the temperature actually fall. We've got the heater going inside, pulling some heat out. Should be able to get this thing at least back down to a reasonable temperature.
Why is the fan on high?
It is on high.
No, it's not.
That's 3, dude.
The fan's broken.
It doesn't matter, it's blowing heat through it. You can see it's cooling down. We're already taking almost, so we're at 226. It's going to take a second to let this thing get hot. I'm wondering now if the steam was the explosion from that because it got over, you know, it didn't pull any heat out. I mean, obviously we've got a cooling fan problem, so I'm going to be here for a while.
Put the fan on the ground.
It's got to be directly on it, dude.
Maybe Jeff bumped something?
No, this is a typical problem, no cooling fan. See, if you can't even have a cooling fan kick on when the air conditioning is candid, you've got a cooling fan problem, period.
I know that.
That thing should override.
Everything was fine until Jeff touched it.
Well, you need to ask Jeff if he remembers the fan running at all when he was monkeying with the AC. Because there's a cutout switch for this fan on that AC system somewhere. Nonetheless, it should be a two separate system. It should be DC on one side and the override from the air conditioner. We have no fan at all. So when we look at the test, one's going to be applied 12 volts to see if our fan works and flip forward. Huh? Yeah, the radiator's good. That's not the problem.
Short term feels good.
Oh, it's finally corrected. Well, yeah, now we're taking heat out.
That's his fantasies.
Don't touch it, Kev.
What?
That thing can come on at any time. We'll take your fingers right off.
No shit.
That's not safe, man. Sorry. Don't be a stubby guy. You don't want to
just shut this thing off and just get the fan off as soon as possible.
I know. I just wanted to get it down below. 215 is okay.
Shutting it off.
At this point, folks, we've got a cooling fan problem we've got to diagnose. So we got to let this thing cool down because now it's too hot to work on. So that'll be part 2. What is wrong with our cooling fan?